Thanks for watching Council Wrap-Up. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're here with a look at the news of the County Council for the month of December. Up first, after a hectic election season, the 19th County Council and 8th County Executive were officially sworn into office December 3rd. And that very next day, the County Council elected new officers for the coming year. The 19th Montgomery County Council was sworn in before hundreds of people at the Music Center at Strathmore. Newly elected council members Gabe Albornoz, Andrew Friedson, Evan Glass, and Will Juando joined the 5 returning council members, Tom Hucker, Nancy Navarro, Sidney Katz, Craig Rice, and Hans Riemer. And when the ceremony was over, the newly sworn-in members had their dancing shoes on.
All right.
Good, I love you. It's just so humbling and exciting to be able to be sworn in to represent the community where I grew up. The only place I've ever called home, to have my family here and friends and so many Montgomery County residents here and my new colleagues. It's just it's an incredibly exciting and special day.
I am honored and humbled to start getting to work to make sure that Montgomery County is a loving, inclusive, diverse place for every resident here in our 1.1 million population jurisdiction. So rolling up my sleeves and getting to work.
This is an emotional moment, to say the least. It's a long time coming, but I am so passionate about public service. I love this community. I'm born and raised here. I want to make sure my kids have the same opportunities that I had.
This is called an agbada. It's traditional Nigerian for a real special occasion. And my dad passed about 18 months ago, and if he were here, he would be wearing this, so I'm doing it for him.
I'm committed to serving the community I grew up in, representing everybody here, and making sure that everyone can have access to that American dream. So it's exciting to kick it off in such a grand way.
The council held its first official meeting the next day, and first on the agenda, the election of new officers. Nominated by her colleague Tom Hucker.
And so I enthusiastically nominate Nancy Navarro as president of the Montgomery County Council.
Nancy Navarro was unanimously selected to lead the council in the coming year. She reflected back to her first term as president in 2013, where her vision was One Montgomery, a message she will instill during her tenure with increased urgency.
As we witness daily attacks on our core values from the highest office in the nation, we must double down on our resolve to defend the fundamental core values of inclusion, respect, and freedom here at home.
Sidney Katz was unanimously elected by the council as its next vice president. Nominated by Craig Rice, Katz is known among his colleagues as a consensus builder. Newly elected President Navarro presented Riemer with a gavel, thanking him for his leadership over the past year. Navarro will be the sole woman on the council during this term, and moving on to 2019 as president, she plans to focus on several issues, including implementing a senior agenda, making Montgomery friendly for business, and closing the opportunity gap.
Montgomery County is a great place to live and work, but there are persistent opportunity gaps that must be confronted.
The holidays were made a bit brighter for some county children after they were treated to a shopping spree at the Rockville Target, with some county police officers and council holiday helpers who stopped by as well. The holidays came a little early for 20 students from Maryvale and Twinbrook Elementary School.
Premises, they can buy whatever they want. The focus is on them.
Montgomery County police officers ditched their cruisers for shopping carts and paired up with children in need for the annual Heroes and Helpers event at the Rockville Target store.
Go to the staircase, keep going straight, and then there's going to be all these toys.
The toys are that way? We got to head that way. The first premise about Heroes and Helpers is to have the kids have fun, have the kids go holiday shopping, to have kids go out and purchase items that they may not otherwise be able to get and have for the holiday season. That's the first thing. The second thing is we want the kids and also the families to see officers in a different light, for them to see officers as normal, everyday people, to see officers in a helping position to help the kids go shopping. So we're cultivating a relationship.
We're looking for clothes now.
And that's the goal of Heroes and Helpers.
The Target Corporation has been sponsoring this event for more than a decade. Each child gets a $100 gift card to spend however they please.
Well, you know, as a company, I think we embrace opportunities to support the communities that we live and work, and this is a great example to continue to support those communities and give back, and I think maybe help some families just have a little bit brighter Christmas.
We got a super awesome Bumblebee Transformer.
The officers helped the children load up their carts with the hottest new toys.
We got a board. I like this one. Yeah.
But making those decisions wasn't easy for everyone.
We want a little bit more over.
Two more holiday helpers who stopped by, Council Vice President Sidney Katz and Councilmember Andrew Friedson,
Bumblebee movie's coming out. You want to go?
Yeah, well, probably.
Okay.
were happy to take part in this little bit of holiday magic
There you go.
I'm definitely allergic to bees.
for these children and their families.
You know, many times when someone sees a police officer, they figure, uh-oh, something could be wrong. And in this case, the young people, the families, everybody realizes that they're here really to help.
A fire ant. Fire ant.
I mean, they all have good hearts. I know many of them that are shopping today with the young people.
I'll put it up closer. So I'm shopping with these young people as well. 1659, 17. Having as much fun, maybe more fun than they are.
Do you have a secret hobby that we don't know about? Do you collect air chargers?
This is going to be how I spend my afternoon today.
We'll find it.
This speaks to community policing and how our police officers and our law enforcement personnel really try to build trust in the community.
We have it for our police records. Make sure I do a good job.
And really that's what this is all about. That's what Montgomery County is all about, and that's what our police department is all about, of working with the community and serving them and not just policing them.
The officers who participate in Heroes and Helpers do so on a volunteer basis.
Oh, look at this. This is Paw Patrol. Ultimate Rescue.
It's all part of bringing joy to the Montgomery County community.
My passion is working with kids.
How about a book? You like books?
Yeah.
Let's go look at some cool books.
It's just another way to be more involved and help out.
You lead the way.
And Vision got one in his head. Don't you know that yellow thing in his head?
They have this many toys when we were this age.
We just had G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip.
Seeing the smiles on the faces of the officers and children made it clear this wasn't an event they would soon forget. It was a day where dreams did come true, but even more importantly, where some special friendships were made. As a new member of the Council's Transportation and Environment Committee, Evan Glass showed us how he plans to use mass transit as part of his commuting routine by taking the bus to work his very first day as a council member.
We actually have some pedestrian issues.
It's the first day on the job for new Montgomery County Council member Evan Glass. The Silver Spring resident will serve on the Council's Transportation and Environment Committee, which works well for this commuter who plans to use mass transit to get to work as frequently as possible.
I want to bring awareness to what's happening, the problems we all have here on State Highway Route 29.
Part of his work on the council will include improving pedestrian safety, which ironically we experienced firsthand as we attempted to cross Route 29 to get to his bus stop.
This is really, they should know that
Nobody's stopping. There are no lights. All we have is a please be kind to pedestrian signs. But here's the problem. You get one car to stop and everyone else is going to keep going. Thank you. Oop. Thank you. You need courage to be able to do this.
you're taking your life into your own hands.
You are, and these drivers are kind because they've actually stopped. The nice things about public transportation, you are a passenger. Listen to some podcasts or read the newspaper, and you can decompress, you can do some other things, multitask, or just listen to music and zone out as well.
After a quick trip to the Silver Spring Transit Center, we hopped off to catch the Q4 bus to downtown Rockville.
Good morning.
The trip included getting some work done.
Today I have my council packet here. I've already done my homework for today's council session. Met with my chief of staff and went over my notes and talked about the day ahead and feel even more confident about our session today.
And running into a new colleague.
I'm going to take public transit.
Good.
A productive morning.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you.
in more ways than one.
Well, Special Assistant Spielberg, I look forward to working with you.
Before his official day as a county council member. As part of a New Year's resolution, Planning Director Casey Anderson vowed to visit every one of the 421 parks located in Montgomery County. We caught up with him and Councilmember Craig Rice as he wrapped up his journey. As December comes to a close, so does the tour of Montgomery County parks that Planning Director Casey Anderson embarked on in January of this year.
That's awesome.
Realize how much land.
We caught up with him at parks number 401 and 402, both located in Germantown. He was joined by resident and council member Craig Rice first at Waters Landing Park.
Right, so you have the baseball diamond, and then you have the playground, and you have a picnic area and basketball court.
That's nice.
All encompassed together in one neighborhood park.
Yeah, that's really nice. And
Casey's like, amen, brother. Right, preach it. Preach it.
Anderson says it's been quite a journey, assessing each park and its amenities and general condition.
Because I like to ride my bicycle around, and Craig is always making fun of me for it, but I think that when you ride your bicycle around, you really get a perspective on everything in the community, because you're traveling at a speed that allows you to really take it all in. I've really been pleasantly surprised that almost every single park is really in pretty good shape. I think if you look around at this park where we're standing in Germantown, you see, the grass is cut, the landscaping is pretty good, there's not a lot of weeds or trash lying around. I just noticed there's a little bit of an issue with the net on the basketball court, but if that's the worst thing that's going on in your park, you're not doing too badly.
He has documented his journey on social media, marking each visit with a photo. On many of his quests, Anderson was joined by residents, parks officials, and local leaders like Rice, who says Montgomery County parks offer so many opportunities.
It really is a great synergy. It really is important for us here in the Up County because we see so much expansion and growth that's happening. So many people are here, 100,000 people here in Germantown. And so from that perspective, to have amenities like this, a lot of people don't think about, but really appreciate it when it's right there in their backyard.
The 421 parks vary in nature. You have small urban parks like the Kemp Mill Urban Park and others like the Damascus Recreational Park where you can see the giant wind chimes. The Montgomery County Park System includes more than 11% of the county's land area.
Particularly in urban areas, land is expensive, so if you don't acquire it in the first place when you have the chance, those opportunities may never come back again. It's why we made a significant investment in the urban park behind the library in Germantown, just a couple of miles from here.
It's really nice. It's really peaceful, and I like that there's places to sit over there. You can bring a book if the weather's nice.
There's a million people tugging on their sleeves, asking for more money for schools, more money for roads, more money for health and human services. All those things are critically important, but they never lose sight of the fact that parks are not optional. Parks are not a luxury. Parks are essential and basic and fundamental to what makes us have a great quality of life. And it's not just that they're nice to have and people enjoy them, they're critical to our economic competitiveness as well.
what is the message that you're going to be delivering to your staff and other leaders in the county about this whole journey?
Think carefully before you make a New Year's resolution, especially when you do it in public. We have a great park system, and now I can prove it. So anybody who comes to me and says, well, in my part of the county, you have to understand, we really got the short end of the stick when it comes to parks, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to say, well, actually, have you been to this park? Have you been to that park?
You know, we oftentimes think about the recreation activity, but this is social engagement. This is an opportunity for neighbors to get out of the house and speak to one another and engage with one another, which we typically don't see that much any longer. And so when we can build those community spaces that are there to bring our community together, to make them less siloed, it really does benefit us as a whole.
This has been a validation for me. There's a reason that our park system has won the National Recreation Park Association Gold Medal for having the best large park system in the country 6 times. That's more than any other park system in the world. And I think that this Parks Tour has really shown me why that is.
Well, that does it for this edition of Council Wrap Up. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy.